Ahoy ahoy and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the Beatles live at the BBC box set. This consists of the two Beatles live at the BBC albums that were reissued in, oh, the first live at the BBC album was reissued in 2013, and the second volume was released more or less around the same time. So we're going to take a look at them right now. So first, this is the box. This is the EU version, by the way. I got it at a from a local seller. So yeah, that's the slipcase right there with the spine. It's oriented going up, so I don't know if that's callback to the Sgt. Pepper spine, but it's normally top down. There are parts of the world where it's oriented going up, so that could be the reason why. At the top, some copyright information at the bottom, and the back. So they if you're buying it from retail, you won't really see the track list until you open the sleeves. You only get the blurb or a description of what these discs or albums are. We got double disc editions, of course, and around yeah, the design is very similar to the 2009 remasters. You got the bar stripe here at the left to square out the album art, and this album live at the BBC, it was originally released in the mid 90s as a thick case double CD, although the artwork is very different from the original. It's just that I don't have the actual CD, but I do have the this book. Just flexing my box of vision. I will be. I've only have gotten this recently, so moving forward, a lot of my, whenever the subject of the original artwork comes up, I will try to use this as reference, because the details, the artwork itself, it's just it's really detailed in this book, as you can see. Let me just take these off first, and we'll get back to the original or to the CDs later. So this is what the cover looked like. So you can see the original has a sepia toned art, whereas the reissue is I think they reverted back to the black and white. I'm not sure if the originals were black and white. I have seen colored versions, but they look obviously colorized. So anyway, the layout is also different, as you can see. Lots of this book, by the way, is record sized, about just a little bit over 12 inches square. So these were close to what the vinyl records look like, and the credits were also slightly altered in the newer editions. Like, for example, in this page, you can see Kevin Howlett is credited as just his job at the time, which is a senior producer at BBC Radio 1. Whereas as we all know, Kevin Howlett became he sort of became the de facto documentarist for the Beatles, with a lot of his liner notes appear in the recent super deluxe editions and the other reissues and stuff. So yeah, and then you got these pictures. A lot of these pictures, not all of them, are on the subsequent edition with the they just cropped them. We'll take a look at those later. Some of the pictures were cropped differently. So credits right here, and then more pictures. I'm not sure if these were inserts or inner sleeves, but and this is the back cover right here, which compared to the they don't have it here, of course. They do have it on the booklet, the back of the booklet, which we will take a closer look at later. I'm not very convinced that those are real shadows right there. Yeah, I mean Photoshop. Did they have Photoshop back in 1994, or whatever software editing, image editing software they used, or those could have been airbrushed. I don't know. I mean they do have shadows here, but different shadows. There's a straight there's a line going there. These are different. Yeah, let me just get this book out of the way, and we'll closely examine the artwork from the CD reissues. So, okay, going back to this is Live at the BBC Volume One, the remaster. I understand that these were remastered from the original source tape, so a different kind of noise reduction were used. Um, at least that's what I've read. So the spine design is pretty much typical for uh, Beatles reissues at the time. We got the. Hold on, let me just get. No, never mind. I was trying to look for, grab one of the 2009 reissues, but anyway, you have that. This is a lot thicker, a lot wider, the spine, compared to the 2009 reissues. So, although the layout is pretty much the same, you got the two disc compartments right here. This is I believe this is a picture of the BBC building, which is not in the original release. So you got the discs right here. And this sleeve is not part of the package. Those are supplied by myself. I purchased these. I find these square sleeves a bit more convenient with these digi sleeves, because they don't. Unlike I used to put in the U-shaped Japanese rice paper sleeves, but they're kind of not very easy to insert unless it's a tight space. This isn't a tight space. In fact, it fits. It slides in and out quickly, easily. So the design, very reminiscent of how the Beatles Let It Be was laid out, as if that Ringo should be here. But squares, and even the pocket for the booklet is just slightly different. They put in another crease here to make it accommodate the thicker booklet right there, and by doing so, the Apple logo looks a bit off center. Should have been somewhere here. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't adjust the the layout. But okay, looking at the booklet. So here we go. And as I've shown earlier, these are new edits, I believe. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's the same people in the background. Okay. Anyway, so some of the pictures here were in full color, whereas on the original everything was sepia toned. So there we go. The note from Derek Taylor, same as in the original. Pictures, and this is the original notes didn't have this subheading here. It's just it went straight to the text. So yeah, and some of the pictures had these descriptions now, unlike the one on the original. It's kind of weird that a lot of these pictures are not credited to the photographers who took the pictures. That's another alternate shot. I mean, the pictures are mostly what's the credit here? Something like all photos credit to Apple Core. They don't mention that a lot of these pictures were taken by Robert Freeman, and then later, yeah, a lot of these are Robert Freeman era pictures, because he was sort of the main photographer for them during that time. And Paul's picture in the original had this crop, so you don't see the base headstock right here. It's just a Hofner. Modern versions of Hofner doesn't have that. They don't have that headstock. So if you're looking for I don't know, replica Paul McCartney's bass reuse. It would be nice if you could get that. Um, John and George with their Rickenbacker right there. Um, oops, there you go, Ringo solo. And I think this picture was reused a lot of times in other. And on the book, you just get this part. You don't get this other part of the picture. Not that you're not getting much. They're just sound baffles. Okay, and this was in one of the pictures, but sepia tone. This is. I am not 100% sure if this is colorized or full color. Probably full color. So yeah, that is the Live at the BBC retroactively named Volume 1. This is now Volume 2. So they took. This is obviously colorized, but they did a pretty okay job of it, at least. And same, very similar layout, but they swapped black for white. And these pictures are also colorized right here. See that? And compared to the original, just so you have a reference point. Same photos, colorized. The layout is also the same. I mean, the original was black and white, also colorized. I guess the colorization is the theme of this album. A lot of these, the songs in this album, in Volume 2, were new, at least not officially released, except for the B-sides that appeared in the Baby It's You single, which the Baby It's You single was the only single that was released from Volume 1. And there were B-sides on it, on the single, that were eventually included in here. So you're not missing much if you still don't have that single. So like Volume 1, the the Apple is off center because I don't know. I would assume that they just they failed to account for the differences when they made it thicker, or they adjusted this with. But yeah, so on cover, that's the back. And I believe that there is another version of the photo that ended up in the 2009 remaster of with the Beatles, so still off the same era. Typical with reissues in the 2010s is an introduction from Paul McCartney. I've yet to see one of these reissues with a note from Ringo. I mean, if they're gonna do Rubber Soul next, fingers crossed, hopefully this year. I'd love to see an introduction from Ringo. I mean, he has a song in it. I mean, it's one of his first songwriting credits, so they should really give him a space. It's more than enough anyway. Okay, so sessions. This booklet. One notable difference is that on the first volume you just get a lot of photos, and this they decided, we're gonna include promo stuff, like this Radio Times covers and call sheets. Are these call sheets? Application for auditions. Sorry. Yeah, documents this time, not just entirely period photos. And yeah, they look a lot more comfortable here compared to those pictures of them doing live stage shows. Because it's radio, you don't really care about how they look. It's just how they sound. So yeah, pictures of the EMI equipment right there, and a luxury radio by the looks of it, and it's obviously made for European slash British broadcasts, looking at the markings. So nice. What is this? Faux leather? I think it's faux leather. Then this one. Of course, we've seen this various shots of everyone else swinging Paul. And there it is. They don't even care if their suits matched. Okay, that's one of George and this. Okay, that's nice. They have an orchestral. I'm not sure if these are playing with them, the orchestral guys here, but it would be cool if he did. And then the at the end of the discs, you get these interview tracks that were, and this is the original source. I don't think these were released to the public here. It looks like it's just something that DJs would play at the end of the segments. Like, I remember reading about a promo. This was around the time that the Beatles were touring the U.S. The first tour, I think, and the DJs were given discs. It's sort of a pre-programmed interview. Like the DJ could have the DJ has a list of questions that like how's touring, and then the pre-recorded answers would be there. And if you're listening to the radio, you wouldn't know any better if that was an actual interview or just pre-recorded one, which is cool, I think. I mean, given the fact that there was no way that or it's very expensive to conduct and time-consuming actually to conduct interviews over the phone at the time. Given that transatlantic calls are delayed, they had like a few seconds delay before someone could hear, and then of course another few seconds delay to answer. So those are they make for a very smooth show, run of the show. Anyway, I digress. More pictures, of course. And I like the quality of these photos. And yes, a couple more of these profile tracks. And more credits right there. And the back cover, as we were looking at earlier. Okay, so that is a look at the Beatles Live the BBC box set, or Live the BBC The Collection. So maybe someday this will be superseded by another edition, but for now this is one great way to get both at the same time. Yeah. And one last thing though, if you've watched the videos this far, if you haven't done so yet, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like, hit the little bell thing at the side if you want to be notified when new videos are up. I try to post videos regularly, once a week, and apart from Beatles stuff, I also do custom book slipcases, and sometimes a few haul videos. I just do pictures of them on my Instagram. I mean, if you want to check it out, I usually post non-video stuff of my stuff over there. So yeah, if you like this video, do check out my other videos as well. In the meantime, be good, and I'll see you at the next video.